by some miracle, Romania or Nadia has come up with the money to pay for Barbosu's defense of her bronze medal in the CAS arbitration. We have a full post-US Classic coffee clutch where we will discuss all the things in more detail and fully analyze what everyone needs to do going into championships. We're going to tell you who qualified to championships, and we'll catch you up on all the news. Welcome to GymCastic, the #1 gymnastics podcast in the galaxy. I'm Jessica, and I'm here with Spencer from the Balance Beam Situation. And the biggest headlines are that we already did 2 episodes on recapping Classic. We did one on podium training, a live after podium training, and we did a live immediately after the meet with our meet report with a bunch of details. So go back and listen to those if you haven't. And if you're a Club Gym Nerd member, of course, log in because you get the full hour and 15 minutes of each of those. So let's start with the biggest breaking news, which is that Nadia says that Barbosu's defense will be paid for. So this is the
explain again. Re-explain to me what's going on. The current status of the Paris bronze medal. Ana Barbosu wasn't going to be able to pay to continue to fight the court case. Was that what the situation?
Romania wasn't going
right, Romania. Sorry.
Yeah. So Ana Barbosu, the current holder of the bronze medal from the Paris floor final, the Swiss, the CAS case decided the medal was hers, even though the FIG said Jordan Childs and Sabrina Voinea and Ana Barbosu should all share it because the error was of the competition and they should all share a bronze medal. But the IOC said, no, we don't want to set a precedent, even though we let the athletes do that in the track and field, but not in gymnastics. So absolutely not. So then there was an appeal to the Swiss Supreme Court. The Swiss Supreme Court looked at the new evidence from the Simone Biles documentary, which showed that the verbal request for an inquiry was, in fact, on time. The Swiss Supreme Court said, CAS, you have to take this new evidence into account and send it back to CAS. But to go back to the Court of Arbitrations for Sport, CAS, you have to pay some money. So Romania was like, oh, we don't have any money. We just threw a bazillion-dollar party for Nadia's 50th anniversary for Perfect 10. Congratulations to Nadia, and thank you for being the hero of gymnastics needed on many occasions. But they were like, no. Oh, we couldn't possibly. This is too much money. Nadia then said, hey, I would encourage Romanian citizens to please donate to help with this defense. And then probably a couple days after she said that, then suddenly Nadia says, the money is here. Barbosu will, all of her CAS fees will be fully funded. She spoke with the Romanian Olympic and Sports Committee, and she said, the money for the renewed CAS proceedings is available. It will be paid for. So I don't know if it was just Nadia. They had a bunch of stuff for Nadia in Romania for her 50th anniversary. They unveiled a statue, which is the best statue of a gymnast that's ever been made.
Whoa. I mean, that's not a tough category.
Right.
Because we got some bad ones around here.
There is the Joy Sealy one in front of Oregon State is really good. And then the one that they have of the guy doing flares with the super pointy toes. Have you seen that one?
I don't think so.
I think Bart Connor has it. I don't know what it's from, but it's also like very...
Is it Bart? Or
it's not.
Is a statue of Bart, or Bart has a statue of just pointed toes as a concept to honor it?
As a concept. Yeah. But yeah, there's like 3 that are very gymnastics accurate and artistic, and this is a beaut, and it's like her doing her signature dismount. So it's the old school bars, and she is flying in a perfect arch with pointed toes over the low bar. It's beautiful. So they unveiled that. And so I do wonder if it's like she showed up and embarrassed everyone by being like, well, I'm going to ask the public to donate if the government's not going to pony up to defend your gymnast. But anyway, somehow through the magic of Nadia, the money has been found.
The court case goes on and everyone goes, hooray. This is still going to drag on for however many more years.
This is still happening.
We're still deciding that God, just give them both. Just give
everyone a
everybody.
medal.
You guys, it's so dumb. And of course, it should never come down to who has the money to pay for the case. Which is a whole other own topic.
Right. Exactly.
Speaking of whole other own topics, I already have a tangent I want to go on talking about these statutes because I have a complaint on the topic of likenesses of athletes. The current female athlete bobblehead situation is an epidemic. The male athlete bobbleheads are starting to get fairly solid in their likenesses, and the female athlete bobbleheads all still look like Pete Buttigieg. That's what I have to say on that. I'm not happy about it. There's a serious women's soccer bobblehead problem. They look awful, and they look nothing like the athletes. They're all a generic face shape.
Oh no!
That's the face.
We can't.
And I hate them. I hate bobbleheads anyway, but I hate looking at these in particular.
Do they try to, as a season ticket holder, they try to give them away to you?
There are giveaways. I don't want them, but that is a thing that happens in sports. Bobblehead nights and giveaways.
We need to call upon our listeners because they have varied and amazing skills.
I would like to radicalize. The female athlete bobblehead situation is really bad.
Yeah. Could you please send us your rendition? Do we have any CAD superstars out there who can fix this, since they're all originally, I'm sure, based on characters in something, and then men, let's fix this. The bobblehead epidemic. That's what I would like. Okay, let us proceed to the most important part of this episode, which is
we already did the most important part of the episode. I got to complain about bobbleheads. I don't know what you're talking. Why you think there would be something more important than that? Are you insane?
With this, the U.S. Classic morning after coffee clutch sponsored by Huel, which I literally drink these all the time before our episodes, but they are also our sponsor. But I'm obsessed with these Daily Greens drinks, and I love them. And they have bubbles, and I think that's why they taste so much better than everything else. Carry on.
So we had US Classic. We've talked through it right after the meet, but I want to, first of all, news since US Classic that we have is the official qualifier list to US Championships. So just in case anyone was holding out any maybe unrealistic hopes that Katelyn Ohashi would magically be included on the list of US Championships qualifiers after Classic. She's not on the list. She did not get the qualifying score, but we do have the 21 seniors who have qualified to US Nationals in a few weeks in Phoenix. 3 spots open, but no one else got the required scores.
So 3 spots open, you say? Now, there is a petition process. Yeah. And the petitions, you have to have had a extenuating circumstances or an injury, essentially. And you have to present your evidence for the petition process to championships. There is. But, I don't know who would get that. But let's talk about if, they were to say, well, we have these 3 open spots. Who should get the spots? And they were going to do the right thing, which is not just take all-arounders, because by definition, if you're taking the all-arounders with the minimum qualifying score, that means that their minimum qualifying score for all-around is like a 12, right? It's very low.
It's a 52.5 all-around score, but you can go as low as 51.5 to fill the remaining spots for seniors. Right. So they said basically 52.5 is the qualifying score. If we have open spots, which they did, they went down to people who had between 51.5 and 52.5 in the all-around.
Right. But those are not competitive elite qualifying scores. Those are developmental scores. So what they should actually do is take event scores, the next highest single event scores that are at least in the 13s, which is the range the minimum range to be elite competitive. So it just so happens that the next highest scores on an even bars, it would be Trinity Wood, but only a 12.75. So, but
I do like her dismount though.
Right. Tell the people about her dismount.
She was doing a nice double front and podium training that I enjoyed.
Yeah. And if you want to encourage her and be like, you know what, we saw that you have potential in bars. Like, let's invite you. Balance beam, the next highest score. So these are people that didn't qualify, but that have the
best
the
scores
highest
of the people who aren't qualified. Yeah.
right. Best individual event scores people. Katelyn Ohashi, 13-2. So, which is, minimum elite level score. And then the next one, floor exercise, Katelyn Ohashi, 13-2.
Do you think they will change the system for next year? Because they're like, oh crap, it would have been good if Katelyn Ohashi. I don't think anyone at USAG was like, you know what we don't want is Katelyn Ohashi at nationals. They just kind of realized they hadn't written in a way to make it happen. Do you think they will change the system for next year? And if they do, what's the change?
I think they will change the system if they're smart, except Tom Forrester's on the selection committee, and he's not the person who makes good decisions when it comes to what is required to create a good team. Right. He has shown the ability to not make good decisions or be able to do simple math. So I don't have confidence, but hopefully everyone else will overrule him. And I think it's the International League Committee who makes this rule. So I hope that they will say Suni's back, and we want Suni on the team, even if she crawls to bars and does a routine. She's obviously great. She's an Olympic champion. She can do everything. But that is who you want. And I would also make the case for if there's someone who shows up and just does vault and is a Simone level vaulter, then you'd want that person too. Like, I didn't include the vault scores because the vault scores are just, first of all, they were when I'm looking at the next highest scores, they're way too high. So we talked about Jade. Jade is not. Her plan was not to be 100% here, which is smart because World Championships aren't until October. So she did a Lopez and it was around the corner and down the street, and she still got a super high E score. But the vault scores are already inflated because the E score is so easy to get on vault. But if you have someone that can get a 15 on vault, or a high 14, you want that person on a team too. So I hope that they do the right thing despite the Tom Forrester of it all next year. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they should be forward looking enough, like you said, citing Suni. It's also a good encouragement for more stars to come back if they feel like no one's expecting you to do all 4 events. I think it would be a sound move to add either lower the 2 event qualifying score or find other ways to make it a little easier for specializing gymnasts to get in. Not that I necessarily think they will, though, because, all around.
Right. So let's go back a little bit here. So let's talk about our all-around winner and our floor champion from US Classic, Reese Esponda.
Yes. Set a career high all around by 9/10. So it's okay if you didn't expect Reese Esponda to win the all around title because
she said she surprised herself.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think huge. I mean, obviously the big talking point of Classic is Reese Esponda, and I want to know from you, has she entered the world's team conversation? Where is she? Has your impression of her status within the US team changed based on a result from US Classic, even though it's just Classic?
I think her stock has gone up right now.
I was really I feel like we spent so much. I don't want to use stock because we would always get mad at Tim and Elfie for being like stock up, and Troutwig for being like stock up, stock down. But
yeah. Okay. But the thing is, I think of you believe and invest in women. And so I am thinking about she's great. Right. And she has proven herself to be dependable, especially on floor. So I think she has. The thing is that I would never say stock down. I would only say if people stock her up.
That's the problem, right there.
Right. That's the thing. So yeah, I mean, I think she did. I think she has the perfect code hacking, unique skills combo, and her tumbling's so good. Like, her tumbling's always the same. It's always great. I'm never worried about her when she does floor. I'm like, a double, you can wake her up in the middle of the night and do it in the street corner, The street corner wasn't the right thing to say there. I think the lawn. You could do it on the lawn. That's
you don't have to go into traffic. We're not expecting that of you, Reese. You could do it on the lawn.
But I believe someone could wake you up in the middle of the night and you could do that double.
In traffic.
Yeah, exactly. Reese is currently on the highest scoring team, according to our roster lab, which you guys can use. For those who've posted scores, like there's no Suni example right now. So since Suni has competed, she's not in the mix. If you're looking at this quad.
She hasn't competed,
Yeah, she did have her first workout today. Or yesterday. What day is it? Yesterday, I think she had her first workout, documenting as she goes. So they're really, allegedly, it was her first workout. So they're taking it from day one, which I think is great because that's the stuff we want to see when you're like, oh, a kip, it's hard.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how Reese Esponda continues to perform at championships and going forward this fall, because it's not just, I think I agree that she is in that conversation that we started to have about what a world's team looks like, not just because you won the all around at Classic, but because of that floor score that really is, you have the case when you look at highest scoring teams, what you have an event basically that you can lean on. But if we look at everyone bringing their routines back, if Hesley Rivera is competing floor healthily, she has shown 14s there. If Jade Carey adds back, her 0.6 of difficulty, you can foresee a situation where that floor score, if Reese Esponda has continued to get like 13, 9, 14, is not, oh, this adds the most compared to, say, you could end up in a situation where you're like, well, what adds more, Reese Esponda's floor or Charlie Bullock's bars? And then you're saying maybe Charlie Bullock's 14-4 on bars is adding more. So I'm not going all in based on Classic, but I do think we're starting to have that conversation. Like, what would Reese Esponda's floor score look like on a Worlds team, which we weren't really having before. We were having it, but it was like us dreaming of like, what would your dream team be? It's like, oh, Reese Esponda's floor. And now it becomes realistic, but it's still, we've only had US Classic. If I'm in the same way, I'm not willing to just like put Reese Esponda on a Worlds team. I'm not willing to write off Dulcie Kaler because she had a bunch of falls and then did a dance through on floor at US Classic. It was just US Classic.
Yeah.
Either way, big highs, big lows. Give it a minute.
Yeah. Before we talk about Ohashi, and how she did and what she needs to do.
You need to have some a moment before we talk about Ohashi so you can get your emotions together and maybe.
Probably. I want to give you guys some updates on what's happening. I talked about this on our live right after the competition, but we were planning on having a live show. We still are planning on having a live show in Phoenix, but we had a venue and then we got the contract. It had a big chunk missing of what they said they could do for us. So we do not have a venue. We're looking for a venue, and it should be walking distance, which in Phoenix in the summer means directly across the street from the venue, or a very short Waymo drive ride, because you don't drive a Waymo, you ride in it. And apparently, if you do drugs in the back seat, it will tell you to stop and then drive you directly to the police station, like it did to those teenagers in San Francisco, I think it was. So, yeah, they're always watching. Anywho, you guys, we're staying on topic, Spencer. If anyone has any connections to a Phoenix venue that we can have our live show at, we'd love to know about it. And we also have a club. It's Club Gym Nerd. And you get stuff like a whole extra podcast every week. Immediate podcast after competitions, like after championships when we travel there, and after world championships when we go to Rotterdam. And you guys support us, and you can also get mini commissions, which we have a mini commission today, and lots of bonus stuff. But the full Q&A live on Fridays is one of my favorite things. We're also going to start introducing ad-free podcasts for you guys in your club feed. So we've had a request for that, and we can do it. I love adding more work for myself for you guys. So you are worth it, and we will do it because you guys, you support us, and we appreciate that. You can also give Club Gym Nerd as a gift at the Join the Club tab at gymcastic.com. And if you have any info on venues in Phoenix, contact us at gymcastic@gmail.com. Spencer, do you have winners?
We have a fantasy winner. We had a fantasy game, and then we have a fantasy winner. called vibes-based judging, which really did, in more ways than one, win this and every competition. Vibes-based judging won a mini commission from the US Classic Fantasy game, and we will email you shortly. Also, we have tools, roster tools. Find out the highest scoring team. You want to know who the highest scoring team is based on US Classic? It's already updated. You can go find that out. Who would be on the Olympic team if the Olympics were today? You can go click a button and it'll just tell you. You don't even have to do the work.
We also have
but you should still make a spreadsheet. I don't want to encourage people to not make spreadsheets around here. I'm not an anti-spreadsheet. You should still make your own, but then you can check your work.
There you go. Check your work. This is important. We also have merch. You can gear up for elite season. Championships is right around the corner, and you want to represent. Let everybody in town know the gymnastics fans are here. Thank you very much. And we have a great shirt that says, "Dear judges, use all the numbers." It's one of my favorites. So yeah, let the people know. We also have newsletters to sign up on our homepage, and you can find everything at gymcastic.com. Now back to our hero, our inspiration, the light of our lives, the sparkle in your twinkle in your eye, Katelyn Ohashi.
Sparkle in your twinkle?
Yes. Yes.
That's gross. I don't think I have one of those.
I didn't say tinkle, I said twinkle.
Still. All right, anyway, Katelyn Ohashi. Triumphant performance, despite just missing the qualifying score. I think, as we said afterward, she kind of did everything she could do with the composition. Like, that was the best it could have gone. The best it could have possibly gone with realistic expectations of the composition she was doing. So what are your thoughts? Because we love to plan a life around here. We love to tell people what to do. Where does Katelyn Ohashi go from here? What should the next 6 to 12 months look like for her?
Number one, she should keep training and add her difficulty. And then she should petition to World Team Camp, because she can do that. And I would base it on, I have the third highest E-score on floor in the United States this quad. So you want me to demonstrate to the kids how to do this properly, and you don't have to kill yourself tumbling, but add the tumbling, add the double layout, add her double front full, add her upgrade, connect her double Y.
Front and double full.
Front double full.
Yeah.
1.5. Back
when
1.5.
you said double front full, I thought of a double front with a full twist. And I was
no, not a Zapata.
Do it, but
she doesn't have to do a Zapata, but if she could.
I mean, she should.
You know who probably could is, I bet Reese Esponda could do that. Have you tried it, Reese? Upload a video immediately, like Suni used to do. Every time we're like, I don't know if anyone's going to connect the sites to a hard wash. And then Suni the next day is like, I've done it. I'm going to do a double sides to a double hard wash now. So petition to World Team Camp, show all your difficulty. And then whether you make it or not, doesn't matter, because then she should go and obviously put out videos of her fully upgraded routines. And then like on beam, she's going to lay out or pike that dismount, add the full on beam. I'm sure she can do like a triple wolf instead of a double wolf, or whatever horror show of a wolf turn you have to do to get. I just hate those so much. Anyway, and then she should go compete in all the European meets. So she should do the Bundesliga, the Swiss money meets, the what else? She should do the Italian meets. Just go to Europe for the fall and do those meets. They'll invite you now,
but go for the spring.
Oh yeah, what's in the fall? There's something in the fall.
Like Swiss Cup,
Swiss money meets.
Usually
in the
that's
fall.
all like countries. Everything's always countries. This is the problem.
But she should do those because they pay you, which is nice. Not that she needs it. But it's, you do some of the pro meets and get your proof that you can, compete successfully, that people want to see you. So that would bring her joy, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah, I feel like for me, it's okay. Is bars an option? Is the first question to explore. Like if you're saying, okay, championships didn't happen, back to training. I think you want to know whether, are you an all around? Are you heading toward maybe trying for worlds next year? Is all around an option, or do you really need to amp up the specialist argument and have a 6.0 plus D score on both beam and floor? But all of that is, assuming that you're viewing Worlds, Olympics as the goal. And for me, honestly, like based on this, you can say if this was the beta test, it was well received. So keep going. Like it wasn't. It was. Is this anything? The answer was yes. This is something. It was very well done, and she seems like she can add more. So yeah, I think the biggest feedback you got was keep going and keep adding.
Yep. And you know, she said she's going to buy a pair of grips after the season is over. So
see what the plan is. But yeah, I mean,
but yeah, I feel like she established, you know, she didn't tell anybody till the very, 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 very last minute that she was doing this. And then, you know, she didn't go to Classic and then fall on bars and then leave the arena, you know, which is what Gabby did, which is so sad because it's like, we would have loved to see you stay and do floor, even if it's a dance through. Like, Gabby Douglas, you're here, show us your gymnastics. So I think she established that it's real and legit.
Yeah.
Do you think her LA, if she wants to go to LA, I mean, she said it would be great. Is it realistic with Suni back, Jade back?
It would always be a long shot, is kind of my feeling about it. That's true for almost everybody. Like you have to be like, there's a less than one hand worth of people for whom it's better. The odds are better than a super long shot. It would be a long shot, but if it's continuing to go this well, I think why not? Why not try? And if you don't make the team, which is most likely what's going to happen, okay.
Then you do the tour afterwards again.
So like, okay, so big deal. You didn't make the Olympics.
Right.
You didn't get a circle around your neck. Like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, if it's Suni, Jade, you know, Jordan, Hesley, if Hesley can stay healthy, Claire Pease, if Charlie Bullock can stay healthy with all those stalters, if Shilese comes back, Skye Blakely, Leanne. I mean, if everyone's healthy and comes back, it's very stacked. But everyone wants to see you continue, Katelyn. Everyone wants to see you continue. Most of all, in the bottom line, USA Gymnastics bank account would really like to see you continue. And so we would like that too. Okay, Skye Blakely.
Is Skye Blakely, who had 1 bars and beam, mostly difficulty, added an upgrade on beam, not everything she could do on bars. Is she the favorite for nationals all-around title, even though she hasn't even done vault and floor in elite since 2024?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I was kind of thinking that, and my only thing was like, okay, but Healthy Hesley, I think, would be the favorite for nationals, but where is she? She's on the roster. They released the initial roster for championships. Hesley Rivera is on it. Last we saw her was Pan Am's when she was going to vault, only did a full instead of the double full, and then scratched the rest of the competition. So she's fully ready to go. I think Hesley Rivera is still the favorite. But if you look at what Skye Blakely can add, you know, even if without the Chung, if she's doing the Lopez, if she's adding, you know, a solid amount of difficulty on floor, 55 becomes like the baseline for her for a hit meet, and she can add to that. And there's not that many people for who that's true already.
Yep. Yeah. And she had the best leotard. Nike, who's designing for you? I'm obsessed with that Leo, and I'm obsessed that she wore it. And it was a kind of a revolutionary leotard, I'm just going to say, because it wasn't like, oh, pretty and sparkles. Wow, we're so bored with that. Oh my God, shiny and sparkles. Ugh. It was so different, and it looked so cool. She just made a smart fashion choice. Okay. Is Jade Carey a lock for the world team?
Ooh, you know I hesitate with the word lock.
I know.
But almost. I think if she brings back like 5/10 of difficulty on floor for championships, yeah. And then if there's an Amanar and a Chung in there, then it's over. If she continues on the trajectory that she's currently on, I think, yes, absolutely, she's on the world's team. It's so hard. Like, yeah, with a vault, already her Yurchenko double full, you're fine using. Because who else is showing more than that. So she's already like, oh yeah, that would be a top 3 counting vault, even if she doesn't bring back her full difficulty. And then floor, yeah. I'm talking myself into it as I continue to speak. Like, yeah, she does not need to add anything outrageous in order to be such a useful score on vault and floor that, yeah, she's going to be on a highest scoring team.
Yeah. Like there's no Jade Carey on the team. I don't have any. Yeah. She's great.
Where do you think she stands in the all around list, like the all around hierarchy or all around medal possibilities for championships? Because we had a letter that I appreciated and agreed with, talking about, yes, talking about one event qualifying scores and whether that should be a thing for championships. And yes, you want maybe a one eventer for a world's team, but also saying, remember that nationals is its own accomplishment, and like winning a national event title should be its own thing, and not everything has to be about the world's team. And I was like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, not everything does have to be about the world's team. Like, winning things or placing well at nationals is its own thing. Where is Jade Carey in the all around at nationals expectations right now?
Okay, well, I just want to go back for a second, and I want to just acknowledge that because of our high intelligence level, Spencer, and basically together, we are like, a super think tank. We can hold 2 opposing ideas in our heads at the same time, which is this is gymnastics. It's a competition. This isn't your local club, softball league where everybody gets a chance because it's about wellness and sports. Elite gymnastics is just about like slaughter the competition. That is the point. Yeah. So we can acknowledge that we feel like our favorites that do the most beautiful gymnastics, we want to see them, and that it is a competition, so you should have to earn it. But the earning of the scores should be realistic international elite scores at the same time. Like, all of this can exist at the same time in our discussion. So it is something, but also we can acknowledge the problem with gymnastics as a whole is no one ever has to compete because nothing matters. There's only 2 meets that matter the whole year. So gymnastics is wrong, and that's why it needs to be totally changed completely. And the meets are like, make it to championships so you can qualify to the world team, and the world championships is the only thing that matters.
But nationals, it's not like that's not a participation. We just love to see you thing. It's the national championship.
Right. It's a national championship and a big deal. I think she will add a little more difficulty. And then that puts her, I'm still, it's Jade though, because she's going to hit. That's the thing. Her bars keep getting better. But if Skye hits bars, like, there's no beating Skye's. I mean, it's one of the best bars in the world. So, I mean, I think she's top 3, but I don't. Yeah, when Skye is the big threat, I think. And Skye said she would, her aim is to do all around by championships.
Yeah, I think I'm always interested to see where Jade places in the all around. It is, to your point, typically better than you expect. Is the Jade's all around placement history is, oh, you think I'm going to place 7th? I'm going to get 4th. Yeah. Oh, you think I'm not quite there in the all around? Well, I'm going to hit and do better. So it's, where does she stand compared to in the all around compared to a Claire Peace, compared to a full all around Leanne Wong, a hitting Dulcie Kaler, all of those? I have no idea at this point. And that is something that could be relevant, but is just interesting regardless of where that shakes out comparatively.
Yeah,
we shall see. Do you think she needs to do anything, like, to be Los Angeles 2028, to be Olympics? Does Jade need to do anything different, or is returning to her previous level going to be sufficient to make the Los Angeles Olympic team?
Her previous level is fine. She doesn't have to do anything else. Yeah, I don't think so.
Is that true of everyone who was on the 2024 team?
Well,
Hesley, I kind of think is like, okay, go ahead.
Hesley has already improved significantly from her last Olympic run. So I think she is going to, like, she's already there, but she would have been the one, I think, that needs to improve the most. Yeah. What do you think?
Because my general impression, I think where I was going with that question is, I don't know that the level has progressed in terms of the expectations for the difficulty you're showing to make an Olympic team are not higher now than they were for the 2024 team. So I do think anyone who was gonna make that team doing the same routines can make the 2028 team. That's where I am right now.
Okay.
But something to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what we're doing. We ask the big questions.
Exactly.
It's big questions. We're having coffee. We're having our scone. We're doing our coffee clatch. We're asking the big gymnastics questions.
Wait, but then if Shilese, this is the thing. If Shilese and Skye are back, then like Jordan wouldn't make a team. Hesley wouldn't make a team.
Mm-hmm. True.
Those are the two I would be if they get back to the level they were before, which Skye already is.
I mean, we haven't seen floor, but we can make some assumptions.
Yeah, like
we saw her college floor, but it's not the same composition requirements.
Yeah. The only thing I worry about with Shy is like if she goes back to the same training, if she's going to have the same result, because it's 2 Olympic trials, twice an injury that took her out. So
Skye or Shy?
Skye. So the first was round off smashy into the vault, and then her Achilles. So something should change. And the same with Shy. I just, she did change everything. And she was at the very top. So yeah. Okay. Who are we worried about category?
I mean, it's US Classic. It's US Classic. Leanne Wong did 1 routine, beam, did not do an acro series. She was like, that's not happening. Came off, scored an 11. Are we worried that she still has a long way to go to get back to a competitive level before nationals?
I'm more worried about her injury not being ready for championships. Even though I think she could petition to the world team selection camp, no problem. But that's more what I'm worried about. But the thing is, like, Anda is another one that she's like, I'm not going to show you all the stuff because I have to preserve my body. So I'm going to wait until I have to do it. So I just don't think, if she's healthy, I'm not worried that she doesn't do everything, because literally at World Championship, she didn't do anything until the last day when she actually had to. And that works for her. So she knows that she can hit when she needs to.
What about Dulcie Kaler? 47.95 all-around score.
I'm a little worried about Dulcie. It was very weird because she didn't, we only saw limited things in podium training, but like her beam, I remember seeing her dismount and commenting how much better her double pike was, and it wasn't scary. And then it was like, what happened overnight that suddenly maybe she was hurt. She hurt something again, hurt her back again during podium, and then went anyway. But I was just like, she just looked like a different person during the meet. And I worry that she's re-injured herself. So that's the biggest thing, because that was so weird. Like, it was weird in a way that I was like, should you have pulled out because something's wrong? Weird. Like, remember when, Amy pulled Simone out in the middle of Classic because she was like, what? You are falling all over the place. You're not thinking that we're scratching this. And then she had to have the one-on-one with Marta. When Marta was, what are you doing? And she was like, I can do it. She's like, are you sure? Don't do that again. And then she never did again. So I don't know. It concerned me. So,
well, is that, speaking of the scratching the last event at Classic, that's what we saw with Simone Rose. Seemed like she was going strong. The first half of her beam routine was perfect, and then she fell and then scratched floor. Is that is that anything?
I am looking at that as like, Simone has competed everything. She has been like the Nola Matthews of this quad so far, where they're like, go to all the meets, qualify the United States to everything. You send you to, all around the world. So I feel like maybe, I think whatever the decision was, it was her decision. Like, I don't feel ready to do this. I'm tired. I've already competed 12 times this year. I think it was smart. I'm not really worried about her. When I see people make that decision for themselves, it actually makes me less worried. It makes me more worried when I see people push through or assume they're pushing through, because then I'm like, well, you just pushed through this meet that doesn't mean anything, and now you're out for a year. Like when Hesley pulled herself out after Pan Am's with that vault, like I'm like, oh, okay, this was a smart decision. You're not going to risk, pulling the rest of your hamstring off.
Yeah.
But I do
so
love
basically what we have to say is there are a lot of big questions that we're waiting to have answers to. But I think we got, as is typical, we went into Classic with questions and we left with more information, but not necessarily any answers. And that's what Classic is, because it's just a preparation meet. It's just a qualifier. We've been able to throw some people back in. I think have high expectations for the returners overall. Skye Blakely, Jade, Carey, they show that we can continue to have high expectations for their results. And I think we added Reese Esponda into the main conversation. And now I'm eager to see how she compares when you have Claire Pease is on the list for nationals. She's another one. Charlie Bullock is on the list for nationals. I really want to see them at the same meet in the same time being scored by the same judges to see how that shakes out in terms of a potential world's team.
And I would say about the list of qualifiers to championships that I would expect 2 or 3 minimum of those gymnasts to pull out and petition to World Team Camp and not compete at championships. That's
do you think do you think there should be a standard for, like, do you think they should just accept petitions to World Team Camp? Like, I'm injured, I want to petition directly to the World Team Camp. How loose should the accepting of that petition be?
I think it should be extremely loose, because you want the people with the best potential to get you the highest score. Like when you think about, so that you have to start with the position that sports aren't fair.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
All that matters is who is going to, in terms of, everything matters and how you treat people, not destroying all of that we've covered for years and years matters. Don't be a dick. Don't destroy people. But number 2 is like, who cares? If you have a level 10 that can do an Almanar and stick it as high as, as our Queen of Brazil, who got the weirdest statue ever, whose name is Andrade.
I'm so glad I didn't have to come in and save you on the name, coming up with the name.
You have
you got
a Kayla Williams, then you want to pluck her from level 10 like Marta did and be like, come be a world champion this year. That's how loose I think it should be. You invite whoever you want that has a legit shot to give the team, or not the team, to win an individual medal. Just as important as the team. Individual medals are the same color. Constantly forgetting that. I'm going to get them t-shirts that said that, just for the selection committee.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I don't think they're going to wear them.
No, probably not, but I can still hand them out. And be like, what do you think the significance of this shirt is?
Betty would be so nice about it. She would be like, thank you for this amazing gift.
Yes. Betty would. Betty's nice about everything. Okay. What other big questions do we have?
I wanted to, of course, being me, analyze where does the US stand in relation to the rest of the world at this point? So the highest scoring team from US Classic only that day of competition, like if that were the selection camp, the team score would have been a 166 with the highest scoring team. The US won Pan Am's with a 161.628. So, you get to pick your hits when you're playing the highest scoring team from Classic game. By comparison, China won the Asian Championships with a 168.498. So that's 2.5 points more than what a US team from US Classic, without a lot of gymnasts present, would have scored. If you add in the Winter Cup For the people who weren't there, Hesley Rivera, Claire Pease, Charlie Bullock, you can get the US up to a 196.9. But those are domestic scores, not a continental championship. So all of these are loose comparisons, but it's kind of useful to see how the US compares, what other countries are doing. Very interested to see what Russia looks like at the European Championships, which is coming up next month. So we can have that comparison point. But if you're looking at US Classic, the US should be looking at, okay, where do we get 3 points from compared to the people who competed at US Classic? And that's in terms of upgrades, in terms of people who weren't there competing. But you're looking at, they're looking for 3-4 points compared to increase what we saw at US Classic. So I don't know if we're drawing anything from that, but that's another thing I was looking at. Comparisons that I like to do.
I think this is what, when the selection, who knows, because Tom Forrester's on it, but if the selection committee is doing the right thing, they will also be having many lists and spreadsheets and doing the analysis of like, what do we need to win this, and who do we need to win a medal, individual medals too. But yeah, I like to do these things because we always end up hearing like the US could send 2 teams and they could both medal. And you're like, this way of thinking is not like, run the numbers, do the comparison. Like, don't assume anything, because where are you getting your 4 points? Where are you getting your 3-4 points to increase what we saw at US Classic? Yep. And next, a word from our sponsor. Do you guys want to know the saddest meal I have ever had? Yeah, Tokyo Olympics. Because of COVID restrictions, we weren't allowed to leave the venue to go to restaurants or even convenience stores for the first little while while we were there. And for almost a week, the only food available was margarine and jelly sandwiches in the venue. That's it. If you know about me and my low blood sugar problems, then you understand that this was not ideal for me. Whenever I'm traveling, or even if I'm like driving far away and I don't know what the quality of the food is going to be, if there's going to be non-crap food, I throw a Huel, that's Huel, in my bag. It's basically nutrition and energy insurance for me. Instead of grabbing one of those dry-ass protein bars that leaves you hungry 20 minutes later, I know I have a complete meal instead of hoping I can find real food. I've been using the Black Edition powder, which has 40 grams of protein and mixes water or milk in about 30 seconds. It's a complete meal you have instead of food, not a shake on top of food. It has 27 essential vitamins and minerals and no artificial sweeteners, colors, or flavors. If I'm really running behind, which I usually am, as Spencer will attest when he comes back on Friday, the ready-to-drink bottle has 35 grams of protein, 7 grams of fiber, and you know how I feel about my travel fiber. It costs under $5 a meal and honestly keeps me full for hours, so I'm not snacking my way through the afternoon. Make healthy eating simple. Get Huel today with our exclusive offer of 15% off online with our code GYMCASTIC, GYMCASTIC, at Huel.com/GymCastic. New customers only. Thank you so much to Huel for partnering and supporting our show. And now it's time for the Gymternet news. Let us begin with the dreaded dumpster fire news. This is a very interesting case. So, three people are facing witness intimidation charges in Longview, Massachusetts, in a sexual assault probe. So, trigger warning, we're going to talk a little bit about this, but no details. So, this is Massachusetts, a former Pioneer Athletic Center coach, Pioneer Athletic Center in Longmeadow, Mass. He is accused of, or she is accused of, raping a student there. But 3 women, including the co-owner of the center, now face charges that they stonewalled police during the investigation. A judge last week heard a motion to dismiss filed on behalf of the 3 defendants, which is center owner Daniela McKinnon and staffers Anna Davis and Amanda Perez. The 3 face charges of a witness intimidation. They're accused of taking no action when the alleged victim confided in them about the coach in 2021, according to court records. So we'll keep an eye on that. Right now, none of these women appear on any of the safe sport lists, but I am not sure if this gym is a member gym. I could not find them in the member gym. But you know how the member gym at USA Gymnastics, when you try to look it up, sometimes it just decides you're a robot and won't let you search. Yeah. Anyway, but if they were convicted, you can be put on the list even if you're not a member. So I would expect that if that the court concludes that they did intimidate the witness. There's a new gymnastics movie coming out.
There is.
I'm so excited about this. Oh my God. And it has the best name ever. Okay. You know Rose Byrne?
I sure do.
And Jenna Ortega of Addams Family. They are going to star in Mary Bronstein's Nasty, which is what we've always been waiting for, a gymnasty movie. It follows an athlete who is battling for a spot on the Olympic gymnastics team who recognizes that her greatest opponent is her coach.
So it's a nonfiction.
Will there be murder in this? That's
one can only hope.
What I'm wondering about this. Like, I think it's going to be a dark comedy thriller is what I would like it to be like. Matt,
we love a comedy. We love a comedy thriller around these parts.
Yes, that's the only kind of make. If it doesn't make you giggle a little, then Max Whitlock, unfortunately, is out of the Commonwealth Games with a hand injury. So it sucks when pommel horse is your thing and then you have a hand injury. You know.
Yeah. You can't do a hands-free pommel horse routine.
Yeah.
Jessica's thinking about it now, though. She's like,
now I'm like,
you could.
Can you just use your thigh hairs, perhaps? What else is? But wouldn't it be fun if someone just did a roll on their upper back routine on pommel horse?
No, I don't think that would be fun.
Donnell Wittenberg, Don is going to miss championships, has an injury, which is a real bummer because he is the reigning rings world champion. And unfortunately, he's out. But hopefully he'll get better. And now's the time to have all your injuries. You don't want to have them now. Yeah, you don't want to have them the year before the year of the Olympics. Sam Phillips has won the Billie Jean King Youth Leadership Award at the 2026 ESPYs. This celebrates Billie Jean King's iconic sports commitment to leadership and service, honoring high school and college age students who like Billie Jean King. Billie Jean King is a famous tennis player and advocate of women's sports from the days before Title IX, when women had to sue everyone to get to compete. And she still does podcasts, still advocates. She also did like the Battle of the Sexes. Do you remember that when she did a tennis match with that loud
I do know
mouth?
about it. I was not alive, but I do know it.
She there's this loudmouth guy that used to throw things a lot, like flopping. He was like the original tennis flopper. And so she beat him in a tennis match. And we love her. So anyway, Sam Phillips, who's also one of our gay leaders in men's gymnastics, won this and was at Nebraska and Indy, Illinois, two teams. Illinois.
Yes,
Indy, Illinois. That's right. So congratulations to Sam. There are volunteer opportunities open for the LA Olympics. So apply now. It's happening. You can do it. If you wanted to go to the Olympics, now's your chance. It will be
either add bars or fill out your volunteer application. These are the two paths.
Or learn
the one that's best for you.
Your Chenko double pike. Next up, we have a mini commission. We love these. These are from our world champion level Club Gym Nerd members. This one is from Blue. And basically, Club Gym Nerd members help us pay our bills, and in exchange, they get stuff like discounts, live first dibs on live show tickets. They get an extra podcast every week, our live Q&A every Friday at noon Pacific, like we're doing this week. And so they keep us on the road going to championships, which both of us will be there, and also Rotterdam, Amsterdam later this year. And so this is one of the things that they can.
But Rotterdam, not Amsterdam.
Rotterdam, Netherlands, not Rotterdam, Amsterdam. Rotterdam, Netherlands. They're different places in the same country of the Dutch Netherlands. Yes, Dutch of the orange, king and queen. Netherlands of the country, blue and white and red. Yes.
I
Did
mean,
I
those
cover
are the
all the
colors of their
colors?
flag. I mean, this sentence has gone into a world I don't understand. But
I just
I'm there.
explained
I'll
the
follow.
difference between the Dutch
Yeah.
and the Netherlands and leaving your shoes in front of your door.
Have you explained to me why it's orange, even though their flag isn't orange?
Yes, because of the royalty, the color is orange.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so here is the brief from Blue.
Continue the discussion about efficient and smart routine construction in the new code, focusing on two of my favorite gymnasts. 1. What upgrades could Dulcie Kaler add without losing how well her routines are constructed? 2. How could Kaylee Namore's floor routine be changed to play to her strengths and give her a routine that matches her bars and beam routines in maximizing execution and scoring potential? 3. Bonus. In the new code, construct a routine on any apparatus for any gymnast that is unique as Sana's 2016 beam was in that code, approaching routine construction in a completely different way from everyone else with skills and combinations that are rare but equally as hard as the commonly used skills. Excellent. All right, Jessica, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Let's start with
Dulcie.
Part 1. What upgrades could Dulcie Kaler add without losing how well her routines are constructed?
Okay.
Well, and this to clarify first, this is not a commission from this week. And I do think for right now, like based on having just watched US Classics, it's like get healthy and get comfortable maybe with your current routines rather than adding stuff. But in general, in an overall in general, I feel like bars is the location with the most obvious opportunities for her to add D score with connections.
Yes. So she could connect Tkachev to Pack.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Pack to Van Leeuwen. Like just keep connecting.
Like there are like lovely individual skills and a lot of cast handstands is kind of the bars we've seen from Dulcie. So yeah, that Jaeger is isolated. She still has to do it because she needs you need to change grip and do something, but it's kind of there are things that are well executed and difficult, but not getting connection bonus. So you could keep most of the same composition and put it all together in a Namor strand. That's what we call it when it's like
a Namor strand. A strand of like no pips.
Yeah, that's what when you connect everything in your routine. It's a Namor strand. So I feel like, keep the skills the same, but Namor it.
Okay, how about beam? How do we feel about L turns?
She didn't do it, and I was so happy. Then 2026 Classic, I was like, she didn't do the L turn. I think that's better. But then, the dismount went awry. But I don't think her beam routine needs a lot. Like confidence with the current composition, because it is already well constructed to take advantage of the era of the mixed series bonus. Like she's doing things like the side aerial connected that I personally don't really think is a connection, but it is in the view of the mind of the code of points, it is a connection and it is useful to put into your routine when you hit it. That side aerial to switch leap to switch half gets all connected. She's already doing those kinds of things. So I feel like beam's pretty far along in terms of composition and maximizing it. I would focus more on bars and floor.
Yeah, I would just change her. Just going back to beam, I would change her. I would change the dismount. It's not worth it. It's not worth it for your back. So I would. She can do. I mean, if she can learn that layout full off the end of the beam, the gainer layout full, or a dismount, a gainer double full, like anything that is. It's just, or any connection into that, leap into the gainer, like switch step gainer full, anything that.
But do you think just like even going down to a double tuck from a double pike would be sufficient to make it more?
Yes,
consistent?
I mean, it just depends. I don't know, double flipping. it's clearly freaking her out, and I think she's had one too many. If you have to stop for 3 years before your back dismount, then I'm like, just at this point, just switch it. You know, you can do it, doesn't mean it's the best choice for your body. That's what I think.
And I think her floor also is well constructed for the current code as well. I think there's more she could do with that last pass because it's just a lone double pike. If it were one of those passes that gets 2/10, another opportunity to get 2/10 of bonus, like back 2.5 to front lay.
Yep,
seems doable for her for 2/10 of connection bonus. So that's the area I would look at. But I think in general, she's already working the code better than most to get to where she is now. But yeah, there are some things.
Yeah.
I think they could do. But yeah, right now it's like, oh yeah, get healthy and get hitting and get confident. Like the emphasis almost right now heading to championships this year, I feel like is more hitting and confidence than maximizing, which we saw from a lot of people at US Classic. And we talked about this in our behind the scenes as well. Like Zoe Malomo doing a lot of isolated C elements that you would never design it that way on beam to say, oh, this is exactly what you should do for your score. But she did really well on beam because it was just a comfortably composed beam routine that was hit.
Yep. How about Blue asked about Katelyn Ohashi and her floor and maximizing her strengths?
Could Katelyn Oharshi's floor routine be changed to play to her strengths and give her a routine that matches her bars and beam routines in maximizing execution and scoring potential? All right. Well, item 1, when we saw her at African Championships, she counted an A element.
Right.
So it's not maximizing. And that was not the intent, but there are things, any old C dance element is already an upgrade.
Jump double full turn.
Yeah. Reese
like
Esponda.
A Reese.
Jump double full turn, my favorite. Similar to Dulcie, if you're doing a D value last pass, like a double tuck, Connection Queen could do some more. Connection Queen could connection it. My other thing, okay. I always find it very interesting when gymnasts, like for instance Simone Biles, will do a triple wolf turn on beam, but only a double wolf turn on floor. Do you have any insight into why that would be? I feel, because in my mind, it's like, if you could do a triple wolf on beam, wouldn't it be easier to do on floor? So why wouldn't you have that?
Oh, Spencer. Are you pronouncing the h and why in order to emphasize how much we hate double turns? Was that the point of that? Oh,
to trolling. It's called trolling, and I know how much you hate it. It makes me very
worked.
I really like to do it, not seriously, only sarcastically.
Oh, okay. So the reason is carpet. So beam is so much easier to turn on, to the point where you see people chalking the shit out of themselves to go on beam because if you have any kind of sweat, especially when the beam's new, it's a little easier to grip because the suede has a little more suede. But once you use it a lot, like you could literally get sweaty and slide down the top of it. Like, it is smooth when it is used a lot, like the freaking hood of a car. Like, so this is why carpet. And then, but the problem is carpet, if you use like a toe shoe, then it's scary because then you have to actually run in that toe shoe and tumble in the toe shoe. So a lot of people, you'll see they'll tape their toes together, like their big toes. One thing is so that you don't, break one, but it just makes it like a little more of a whole surface to turn on. But that's why it's harder to do, because of carpet. Yeah.
So you're saying we need to institute like toe shoe or socks or something that people can throw them to a coach in the middle of their routine.
You can
like
wolf.
do all that stuff and then toss it off to the coach and then do your tumbling later.
Or someone needs to invent, just like micro robots that will encase your foot to turn and then go away. And then, like you see in the Avenger movies when you're like, change into my fancy outfit.
The historical documentaries, the Avenger movies.
Yes.
That demonstrate real technology. Yeah.
Toe shoe now, lightning bolt. Yes, that's what we need. Special effects, essentially, is what I would like. Can someone do that?
So, to Jessica's point about the turning on floor, I wonder if that is a hindrance for Kalia in terms of floor composition. Because ideally, she would turn it like spins, all the spins, Memel turn, double L, connect to an illusion, triple wolf, and all of that. She's not really doing those. In theory, I would have those in instead of like a switch full, which is like the lesson of composition this year has been you're not getting credit for your switch full, and you might as well not do it. But I would say theoretically, I think you would go Dutch turn crazy in her routine, but that may not be comfortable for her.
Dutch turn crazy. That is our recommendation for Kaylee.
Almost everyone.
Yeah, pretty much.
Unless not everyone, but like, yeah. For Kaylee Namor, for Katelyn Ohashi, just do all the turns and do them into illusion turns.
And honestly, if you're flexibles, illusion, a double Y turn illusion, this is just try it. Just try to go for it. Try to get it because it's such a great bonus and it looks so cool. But it's really hard. That's why people don't do it. Because they're like double Y to fall over into a split, basically, is what happens. Like illusions.
I throw that into the Dulcie Kaler conversation for floor too. Memel into an illusion? I think she could do it. All right, our bonus question, which I'm very excited about. In the new code, construct a routine on any apparatus for any gymnast that is as unique as Sana's 2016 beam was in that code, approaching routine construction in a completely different way from everyone else with skills combinations that are rare but equally as hard as the commonly used skills. Okay. So my project for myself, after reading this, was create a competitive uneven bars routine in the current modern code, competitive D-score with no Shaposh family elements, no Takacha family elements, no packs, and no Jaegers.
What?
It's doable.
No.
Don't think it's not doable, people. It's totally doable. Okay,
is it doable with the shitty FIG nonsense where they don't let the women change the height of or the spread of the bars, like they don't change the height of the vault?
It makes it harder, but I contend it's still doable.
All right. Okay. I'll be the judge of that. Let's go.
All right. So we're starting with the Julianne McNamara bars mount that I think more people could throw in. So this is jump to the high bar, pull yourself, hoist yourself into a clear hip circle, half turn.
Yeah.
And that is a D element. Yeah. That is worth the same as a Maloney. It's worth the same as a Jaeger.
Yes.
Jump, clear hip, half turn, and then you do a ganger connected. Out of your cast, you've clear hip cast, half turn, you're doing a ganger. Connection. That's your first kip cast handstand. To hop grip change, because we need a grip change requirement. So your kip cast, hop grip change, and doing the Thelma Ottelstein's daughter new release, which is the Weiler Komenich. So you do a Weiler circle and then release
the front
straddle salto.
A front clear hip to a front flip straddled.
To a front flip straddled. Yes.
Yes.
And then you are catching the bar and connecting that to the low bar to a bail handstand.
Yes.
To landed handstand. You are connecting that to the clear hip hacked half from the 1992 compulsory bars routine.
Oh, that is okay. I love that so much. And so many people did that and just ended up standing under the bars. Like what happened to me?
They sure did.
Yeah. So clear hip hacked half.
But I contend if it was in the 92 compulsory bars routine, the bars are not the same.
No.
If it was in that, I think people can do it now.
Yeah. Because I mean it is really cool, but we almost never see it. Okay.
Now we never see it, but it has been upped to a D to encourage people to do it.
Right.
It's fairly recently upgraded to a D and no one has done it, but I think worth it for a D and doable.
So this was in the compulsory, it was the clear hip, and then you're staring at the ground. You have to straddle so that you didn't hit your feet on the low bar. You let go of the low bar, and then you just grab over your head like you are a little kid trying to put a sweatshirt on or any kind of shirt when you were little and you're lost and you're just like, please, please let me grab the bar. And then sometimes people surprisingly grab the high bar and then we're like, oh, I did it. And then just dead hung. They were just like, I grabbed it, but I have no swing.
I think
with
everyone's history with Shaposhes is going to make them more comfortable with that reaching up and grabbing the bar at the end of that clear hip hacked half. They're like, I know how to do this. I know how to catch the bar from this position. I think it's a tricky routine. The trickiest part of that is that you really want an element then on the high bar connected out of that for your 2/10 connection bonus. I think it's very hard then to have the momentum out of that on the high bar. But I said the same thing about a sights, where I was like, no one can do a sights because then you can't grab and have the momentum in your backswing on the high bar to connect into something else.
Yep.
But you want to do that clear hip hacked half and then have enough momentum to do something else out of it. Even if it's a giant full, because that would get you 2/10 in connection bonus. I would love a hop full out of that. It's
you
a lot
want people to do a clear hip half to a hop full with no kip? You
have your backswing out of the hacked half on
backswing.
You have backswing to get your momentum, and then you're swinging forward into ideally a hop full. That's the biggest. That's the least realistic, I think, part of this routine. I will grant.
Okay, I thought you meant uprise, and I'm like, no one's gonna have enough swing to do an uprise out of that.
I'm saying enough. You backswing out. You catch
empty backswing, and then
empty backswing into
kip
your
giant
into your hop full.
Yeah.
Giant full, but ideally a hop full because a hop full is great.
And it's more fun. Yeah.
And it's more fun. And you're then doing that into the Shushanova, which used to be called a full twisting Tkachev, but it's never been a full twisting Tkachev. It's a half turn release, half turn catch the bar. Yes. Most recently, we saw like Anna Lee did it in her later elite return bars routine. Some other people have done it. It used to be a G, and then they were like, oh, wait, it's not hard enough to be a G, so they made it an E, and I'm fine with that. Then we're doing that. Cast half turn, and then we're dismounting with something fun. Ideally, something crazy fun. I love a double Arabian, but it's only a D. But, something that's not basic.
I love that. 6-2 D score.
6-2 D score.
And this is such an unusual routine.
It would be a bizarre routine, and I would love every second of it. I think it is not crazy. Like, sometimes when you come up with routines just for fun, where you're like, no one could actually do that. Like the dream routines you come up. This is weird, but I don't think there's a lot. I don't think we're stretching the imagination that much.
No, I mean, there is a gymnast who this is their jam.
I mean, and to me, it's Ellie Black. I'm like, Ellie, do it.
Yes. Well, I'm going to send it to her and be like, what do you think? After Commonwealth Games, is this insane? Or do you want to try this?
New phone, who does?
Thank you so much to Blue for commissioning this mini commission at the world champion level of Club Gym Nerd. And if you too would like to have a mini commission, hopefully just on beam and the rarest, weirdest, highest beam composition. I love this challenge of like, do something that no one is doing that meets this code.
All right, who wants to?
I'm putting a shout out.
If you've won something and you want a mini commission, make Jessica do this for beam. That's not Sana's routine. Different skills.
Yes. Like, I mean, we'll have to use some of them, but yeah, I love this idea. This was great, Blue. Thank you so much. And if you want one of these, you can join the club at the World Championship level at gymcastic.com. Join Club Gym Nerd, and then you get your extra podcast every week too. Up next, it's time for meet news. Big meets coming up this weekend.
Yes. Coming up this weekend, we have the Commonwealth Games. Do you want to explain to people what the Commonwealth Games are, or are we just going to pretend it's fine?
It's
a fun gymnastics competition.
It's all the places the British colonized. They let them get together and compete in a giant games that is huge, probably the second largest to a Olympic Games, because the British colonized everywhere. And yes.
This one's a
some
little
places
last
I forget. I'm like, the British went there too. My God.
This one's a little last minute because they had to switch to Glasgow, which was not originally going to host. They stepped in at the last second, so it's kind of a bare bones Commonwealth Games this year, but a lot of exciting gymnasts on the roster. Ellie Black is on Canada's roster. Georgia Godwin is on Australia's roster. Courtney McGregor is on New Zealand's roster. Tiana Sumanasekara is slated to make her Sri Lanka competition debut at this meet. On the men's side, we mentioned Max Whitlock has pulled out, but Reese McClenaghan for Northern Ireland. I haven't heard any controversies like we had last time about whether he was going to be able to compete or not.
Yep. They left it alone because they were just like, oh, you beat us with the Sunday agreement of peace. We're not messing with that. You can compete for Ireland or Northern Ireland, and we're not touching it. So he has won again.
I think that's in general the smarter move, especially for anyone who's not involved. It's just like, leave that one alone.
Just don't touch it. Don't
wake it up.
Right.
Put on a white noise machine and leave it. Leave it.
They're living in peace. Don't cause. Yes.
Big storyline for me on the women's side is Ruby Evans, who is in a not particularly common situation of being, I think, the strongest British gymnast and not being English. She is Welsh, and she is leading a very strong Wales team that would be, if you're looking for your underdog, one of the fun parts of the Commonwealth Games just in general is rooting for Wales and Scotland and Northern Ireland to beat England at things. It's like one of the points of the whole thing. Or like when Jamaica just does track events next to all of like the British and they're just like, guess who won? It was Jamaica. Those are the fun parts. The Wales team is really good and they're sort of looking to upset the typical England, Australia, Canada dominance. So that's something I'm looking forward to in the team competition. 24th is men's team day. 25th is women's team day. 26th is both the men's and the women's all around. And then 27th and 28th are event finals. The Commonwealth countries all have various streaming options. If you're in the US, it's on beIN Sports, which you may find you have as part of whatever you need to do to watch college gymnastics, which is my story.
And it's beIN, like BEIN.
BEIN. Yeah.
Which is, The other thing, shout out to Courtney McGregor, who is, a doctor and in finishing her medical school and still competing in the Commonwealth Games. And they don't stop, fun fact, they don't stop medical school, so you can compete. And also she delivered her greeting to the New Zealand house in Maori, even though she's just now learning Maori. So she had to kind of read it, but she has been like the face of the Commonwealth Games. She's in all their media, and I'm like, that's right, finally. Now pay her to go to all these freaking meets. So you're putting her in all of the the marketing stuff, but they are taking care of her for the marketing stuff, which is very nice. But it's a good chance to see some of your favorites and just remind yourself of I wish Kenya had a strong gymnastics team because they're underrepresented in the gymnastics. And as a former British colony area, can you imagine if the Dutch did this and the Portuguese? My God. And then competing empires. Anyway, it's interesting to me that this is all everyone gets together and has fun. But it's the special relationship, as they call it. Okay, Spencer, what is our world's qualification update?
We haven't had really a chance to do this because I was gone and then we had US Classic. But since last we talked about this, the women's teams from China, Japan, South Korea, and North Korea qualified to Worlds. The big news there is North Korea because they're competing again. The North Korea last sent a women's team to Worlds in 2019. So it's been a while. They're competing. They got a spot. An Chung-ok of North Korea is now has the most difficult vaults being done in the world this year. She did a Chung and an Amanar in the vault final at the Asian Championships. They were landed 2 feet, so they were hit elements. And that's the difficulty. We have a Chung, we could put a check mark next to. Someone's doing Chung Amanar. And it's An Chung-ok of North Korea, so look out for that one. Amanda Yap, who we adored at the World Championships last year from Singapore, advanced to the beam final at Worlds last year, qualified to Worlds as an individual. The Singapore women did not qualify a team, but she qualified as an individual. One of the really interesting developments on the men's side, potential controversy. So the men's teams from Philippines and Uzbekistan did not qualify, but they had higher team scores than the US men and the Brazilian men did to qualify at Pan Ams. And the reason that happens is that they're predetermined continental quota numbers. Like there are 4 teams from this continent that can go. So it's just the top 4, 5 teams from that continent. But it has led to should the continental quotas, and they are, regularly reevaluated, but are they skewed? Because is Asian men's gymnastics not getting as many quota spots as its quality warrants compared to the other countries? This is an argument that the answer would be yes, because can you compare these continental meets? Different judging? Not necessarily, but you should be able to, because it's all like the FIG judging, etc.
Right. It shouldn't matter where you are, because the judging should be same. It shouldn't be a ranking.
Yeah. Should it just be the top 24 scoring countries across their continental championships all make it? Or should there be continental quotas?
Right.
Or does top 24 scoring countries just eliminates the opportunity to develop, give opportunities to developing programs, etc.
Yep. And this goes back to sports aren't fair. There are some rules sprinkled to make them fair, but also shout out to Spain for beating.
Are you trying to talk about a soccer right now?
I am not. I'm just okay. We will see you, but this is a good time to remind everyone that the best soccer player ever didn't compete in this at all, because the best soccer player ever is a woman, and she'll be competing next year. So we'll see you on Friday for our regular behind the scenes, which is our live Q&A podcast. I have lots of stories from the family visit and being harassed endlessly by my niece and sister, which will regale Spencer with tales that he will enjoy very, very much. So we'll see you on Friday at noon Pacific. Remember to check out all of our new tools, the LA Team Chooser, the leaderboard, the Score Explorer, where you can see what's the highest scoring team right now, and lots of countries. Take out meets you want, put in the meets you like. And until Friday, remember to take off on gay, split on rights. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on behind the scenes.